that beginners make and how to avoid them. Stay tuned to the end of the video to know how to absolutely revolutionize your chess to bring you from a beginner to a grandmaster. Mistake number one is ending calculations on your turn. So let's say it's a normal game, e4, e5, queen h5, which is not an amazing move, but a lot of beginners do play it because it does have a trap. First of all, you could bring your bishop, threaten checkmate. The scholar's mate is very popular for beginners. So let's say your opponent tries to stop it and goes g6, which is not at all a good move. So what's going through Black's mind right now? Well, I threaten the queen. Queen leaves. Boom, he's not in my position anymore. And also, I could trick him. Maybe he doesn't even know his queen is being threatened. So he ended the calculation on his turn after I threatened. But did he ever stop to think, what is my opponent going to do? Well, if he would have done that, he would have realized his opponent can just take and get the rook. Which brings me to number two. Moving a piece twice in the opening is a mistake most beginners make, and it is not great unless you have a direct reason for it. So let's say it's a regular position. We have there, and we have getting out the bishop, and then white just decides to move their knight again, just there, which is not a good move. You'll see on the analysis that it is a miss because there is no reason for it. What do you gain by putting your knight there? First of all, your opponent can push their pawn, which gains space with their pawn, because it's blocking your knight from ever coming there, as well as your bishop, and you just wasted a move, as well as you're not developing a piece. In the opening, it is crucial to maintain complete development of your pieces. Every single move is a new kind of development, controlling the center, getting your pieces active. Moving a piece twice in the opening, unless crucial or you have a specific reason for it, is not smart. Such as knight f6, then it would be okay to move a piece twice. Take the pawn. Best. Number three. I've seen multiple beginners do this, including my father, that they see a piece being threatened and they're like, oh no, my piece is threatened. I have to find some way to get it to not be killed. So the best way to get it to not be killed is probably to move it. Move it to, in this position, possibly to a5 or anywhere, except maybe not e7 because that would block your queen and bishop, but it doesn't matter. Number three is checking in random positions, especially when you're being threatened. So I've seen a lot of players in this exact position go bishop g4, b4 check, which is a mistake because they think my piece is being threatened. If I check them, they can't take. So I got to check them really fast. But then what happens? Pawn c3, great move. And now you have two pieces being threatened at once, which is a big problem for you because you will end up losing one of them. You can move your bishop. You will end up losing a piece. If you move the bishop and take your knight, probably the best move here is to just take the pawn. And yeah, you're checking for no reason. Your opponent could just threaten your bishop, and now he's threatening both your pieces. Number four, when you see that you have a threat, look for what your opponent can do. You must always look for what your opponent's move can be, right? So let's say you're in this game, you're playing against another beginner, and you see that you have a brilliant move, knight takes f7. Of course it's a blunder. The king can't take, and the rook is unable to move, so you win the rook. No, you must always look for what your opponent can do. Now, if white would have looked for what their opponent can do, they would have seen, well, where are my pieces? Look for checks, traps, and captures. for both sides. What can black do that's a check? Well, black has a few checks. Black can first of all take the e4 pawn and win the knight. Black can, with the bishop, take the f2 pawn, or with the queen, take the f2 pawn. Those are all checks. So you always have to look for checks, traps, and captures of what you and your opponent can do. So right now, your opponent has an actual checkmate. So after takes, an amazingly brilliant move because you win the rook, queen f2 checkmate. Which brings me actually to number 5, which is looking at checks, traps, and captures for yourself. So this is obviously not a position. I just set it up because it goes to the base of what I'm trying to say. White is threatening black's rook over here. They see that, oh wow, I can actually put my knight in the center, activate it, because of what Guy Brose and chess told me. I should not move a piece twice in the opening, so I should bring out my knight and prepare a castle, which is great, except the black's rook is hanging. You have to always look for checks, traps, and captures before a move. Just immediately think, oh, knight f3, because Guy Brose and chess told me to develop your pieces, which is true. I did say that. But always first look for checks, traps, and captures. In this case, you capture his rook, and you just probably win the game because you're up 5 points of material. Now, if you want to see how I beat Martin with just a queen and rook, click on the bishop and subscribe. See you in the next video.